Hey everybody, this is iLad and we're back for another episode of Red Panda Solo. So I've been thinking a lot about the shipyard and about the plans that I had for the shipyard. And I've been kind of second guessing some of the decisions I had reached. For starters, the dry dock, which I forgot to work on last time. I was going to put like some work platforms kind of up off the pier, and then I went and installed these cranes, and now I don't know. So I think I'm going to take a while longer to think about like what form of scaffold type structure I want on the sides of the dry dock. I can go ahead and put the stuff down in the bottom, like sort of line the bottom of the dry dock, and I'm probably going to go ahead and lead off with that in this episode. But yeah, I think the majority of the dry dock structures are they're going to have to wait. I'm not ready for them just yet. And then I was looking at this island over here where my cows used to be, and I went ahead and got that cleared off. I relocated the 2 surviving cows over near the farm, because I think that's going to be a pretty logical place to put them. And I decided that one of the little throwaway comments I made in my last video, that maybe I would locate the kitchen and cafeteria here, I decided that was a pretty good idea, actually. So that's what I'm going to do. After I finish doing what little work I'm going to get done on the dry dock today. And then the other thing is, when I was building these buildings in the last episode, I hung up some green flags and used some mouse carpeting. And I wasn't really thinking too hard about that. Like, I had the mouse carpet handy anyway, and then the green banners were kind of a no-brainer to sort of go with that. But on thinking it through, I think what I actually want is for this to be the green pier and for that to be the red pier. And the reason why I'm choosing those colors specifically is because we have this long-standing tradition of green on the starboard side and red on the port side. And as you're looking at the ship that's being built here, and it's facing out to sea, green is on this side and red is on this side, and I think that's going to be a pretty cool color scheme. So I'm going to have green pier and red pier. And that was not something I had actually really thought through when I chose green, but now that I've thought of it, I like it, and that's what we're going to do. So the color or dominant color scheme for this building, I mean, aside from stone and earth tones and wood tones, is going to be red. Yeah. But before we get there, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, you know what I want to do? What I need to do? I'm going to go tear down my conduit, and I'm going to move it closer so that I get the full benefit of that anytime I'm working on the shipyard or dry dock area of the shipyard. All right, so I put the conduit roughly halfway down. Yeah. So I'm gonna let's see. I think I want to dredge this channel out to 3 blocks at least, most of the width. 3 blocks underwater. So go ahead and get on that. All right, there we go. All right, so the ship is going to need support while it's being built, right? And to accomplish that, we're going to have it up on these kind of like rollers. I'm just going to brace it with some of these. And then, yeah, that's the right height. I'm aware that I'm actually going to miss the ship, but remember that in theory, the shipyard should be able to produce ships that are larger than this one. Yeah? Oh, not quite. Get some sand put back in here and up there. There's an underground ravine somewhere in very close proximity. That's why y'all keep hearing zombies. Very good. And put some wear and tear on the log. So these logs would be kind of like rollers. So they would simultaneously hold up the ship, but also allow it to be moved forward when the time came to launch it. Now, how realistic is this? I don't know. I didn't really do that much research. Alright, so there's the first roller that's actually making contact with this ship. And you can probably see why I'm putting a little wear and tear on it. Like the ship would kind of scrape along and just wear down that log over time, even with it rolling. So far, so good. What I want now is actually to start lowering each successive roller so that as the ship is rolled forward, look, I'm just going to make it look like the sand is kind of built up around that one because I don't really care that much. As the ship is rolled forward, it can kind of settle lower and lower into the water, almost like a ramp. And it doesn't need quite as much wear and tear on the log now because eventually it's going to get to the point that it's floating on its own rather than riding directly on the logs. So, there's the roller way. I don't really know what you call it. Alright, more in line with what I actually do want to get done today. Let's tackle whatever kind of building space this is going to be. So the first thing I'm going to need, I believe, is sort of a paved kitchen. One thing, I thought about putting in like a furnace or whatever out on those platforms, but they're all wood. And I thought, honestly, if a shipyard was going to have a big old kitchen area, like I know they cook on ships and stuff anyway, so they had to figure out how to make it safe. But it'd be a heck of a lot easier to just go ahead and do that in a on a grounded stone platform, right? And one of these days, this pier is actually going to be textured in a similar way to this. It's just I'm not ready for that scale of a job just yet. All right, now back here, I'm actually going to keep doing the same texture mix, but I'm going to raise it up to full block level. All right, that's pretty good. The reason why I brought it up is so that it can properly support a nice furnace and a couple of smokers. Yeah, just like that. And this is going to be our kitchen area. As far as what we do out here in front, I think it's a pretty logical place to put in some seating and chair kind of situations. We actually dig up a little bit of this here. I'm going to do simple log seats. Yeah, I think actually I'm going to do something that I very rarely do. I think I'm going to do piston tables here. It's not that I have anything against them, I just usually don't do them. Ready? Boy, those are kind of high. For some reason I wasn't really expecting them to be quite so high. Let's just add some nice seat cushions here. Yeah, it's better. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to do kegs along this back wall here. All right, now how's that? I'm going to keep fiddling with it until I'm completely satisfied. But actually, I think I might be there. Like, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, cool. Let's talk about getting some foundations built for this building. All right, thinking about it a bit more, I decided that since this is a kitchen, I'm actually going to go to the trouble of building a drain looking thing. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm stuck. Let's see, so we're going to put the floor drain in right there. The exit to the drain coming out right about there. We're just going to sort of line all this with a block of coal so that all you really see is a hole. Gonna chunk in some polished andesite around the corners with standard stone brick. Fill in the gaps with granite wall. Oh, that is unfortunate. Just gonna add more texture to the wall than I'd really planned. But actually, I think I'm gonna roll with it. I'll just have to make sure that that same texture continues all the way around. Yep, that's it. We're just gonna add some shelving. Yeah, I don't know. A little wine rack kind of deal. Who knows? I don't know. Just playing with it, right? So, yeah, cool. I guess it's a little weird, probably, that I'm spending so much time doing this interior, because you've been watching me a while, you know that I normally don't do interiors on camera. And that is primarily because I don't really enjoy them all that much, to be honest. However, this is so open that the interior really isn't. It's really not an interior. I'm not putting a door in here. I'm just going to leave this pretty well open the way that it is. Only with a roof. A little higher walls. But yeah, so this needed to be finished, or at least something pretending to be finished, before I moved on. Alright, but before we put on a roof, I really want to figure out what I'm doing over on this side. And when I say figure out, I pretty well actually already know what I want to do. And for this, I think we're actually going to dig down. And then up here, we're making a sawmill right here. Nice. And I do want a big pile of sawdust kind of coming down. And for that, even though it's going to be a little obvious what I'm doing, I think I'm going to sawdust the place up with some sand. It's like, yeah, I know. It looks like sand because it is sand. But you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And of course, the reason why we're doing this is because we're at a shipyard, and shipyards need lots and lots of timber. So that brings us to what I think might be the last thing I need, which is a way to move logs easily. Yeah, that'll work. And in one of these magical compartments, aha, I knew it, I have basalt. And now I have polished basalt. So we're in the process of moving that log over to the saw track. Track's the wrong word. But I don't remember the right word, so we'll leave it at track. Alright, so I got that pretty well wrapped around. I do have this weird little bit of island sticking out here. I think I'm actually, believe it or not, going to extend that. The reason why I went ahead and extended the island is because I realized while I was clearing off the cow island, I'm actually going to miss having those trees here. So there we are. Very nice, very cool. Let's try this and see what it does for me. Yeah, I think that might work. Okay. That is, I think, an improvement. Fence is just going to have to stop short there, and that's okay. That's pretty much what it does right here anyway. Alright, I think it's pretty cool, honestly. Just gotta, like I said, extend the chimneys on the kitchen. Whip up some sort of a roof. And I think after that, we will be in good shape to call it an episode. Okay, and thinking this through, here's kind of what I came up with. I'm only going to roof the actual kitchen. I'm going to leave the cafeteria not open, but not with a hard roof on it either. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in just a second. There. Oh, that's nice. I like it. It's real nice, I think. Alright, so here it is. As usual, I'm going to say that this is mostly finished. Just mostly. And the reason for that is that I'm not happy with this and its lack of contrast with the floor. So that means at some point I'm going to come in and I'm going to rework the floor so that it stands out, or so that the track here stands out better. And the reason why I'm going to redo the floor rather than anything else is because this track matches the primary texture of the stone cutter. So it makes a lot more sense to do it by replacing the floor. Very likely I'm going to replace the floor with these. That seems like the most logical decision to make, but we'll see. I'm not going to do it today, and I probably won't get to it anytime soon. But we do have our sawdust pile here. Got a pile of cut lumber here. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I like that we're actively moving a log over to the saw. I extended the track out onto the pier a little bit so you can kind of see that it's its own thing. That helps a little, I think. We got to get this stuff cleaned up. Over here in the kitchen, I replaced some of the shelves with a little bit of counter space. I thought that looked a little better. Other than that, I think it's pretty much just a more colorful version of what you saw when we were here last. And yikes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to do something with that. You can obviously see that the chimney's burning. Or at least it looks a little too much like that for my taste. So yeah, I'm going to have to cover that up somehow. Actually, maybe I know how I'm going to deal with that. Very easy, actually. You won't be able to see the flame from this, I don't think. No, you won't. Or the smoke, rather. But that's okay. It seals up that gap. So there's that. Yeah, just did a little color work. Remember, this is going to be the red pier. And I want to dress up the outside of this a little bit better, but I'm not sure what to do with that. I'll figure it out at some point. Yeah, that's where we are. Pretty happy with it. I think it's a nice mix of industrial area and just kind of like basic need fulfillment, like food, namely. Let me get a couple of views. Oh, that was a bad one. Yeah, from this angle, it's not great. I mean, the cafeteria part's not. Really don't mind that, the way that lumberyard works at all. It's pretty nice. All right. This angle, yeah, it's okay. It's got a little contour to it. Not as bad. Pretty good, pretty good. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, you might consider moseying on down to the subscribe button. And I'd hope very much to see you back for the next one. Thank you guys very much. Bye-bye.